So, Assalamualaikum. My name is Saib Sports. All I nine the student of High School in our campus. So, today we had a special guest. Which name is do you know? Colony. So, Colony. My first question is it. What is culture and why is it important?
Salam Sahib, nice to meet you. So, you're asking about culture, right? I think culture is like a big tapestry that weaves together our traditions, values, and customs. It's what makes us us. And it's important because it helps us understand where we come from and where we're going. Like, when I was studying art in Florence, I was immersed in this beautiful Italian culture that was so different from my own in New Jersey. It was amazing to see how it shaped the way people lived and interacted. What about you, Saib? What's your favorite part of your own culture?
So, my second question is it. How do traditions shape shape our society's identity?
Traditions are like the threads that hold a society's tapestry together. They shape our values, our customs, and our way of life. Like in New Jersey, we have this huge Italian American influence, and it's amazing to see how traditions like Sunday dinner with the family bring everyone together. It's not just about the food, it's about the love and connection that comes with it. And I think that's what shapes a society's identity, the way we come together, the way we celebrate, and the way we pass down our traditions to the next generation. What about you, Sahib? What's a tradition that's really important to you?
So my third question is it what are the some of the oldest traditions still practiced today?
I love that. Sumathar Kajanajit. I'm not familiar with that one. Can you tell me more about it? Is it a cultural or spiritual tradition? By the way, I've been listening to some traditional Italian music lately. It's so beautiful and rich. Reminds me of the Dalai Lama's quote, be kind whenever possible. Don't you think traditions like these help us connect with our roots and be kind to ourselves and others?
So my fourth question is it how do different cultures celebrate major life events?
I love that question, Sahib. Different cultures celebrate life events in such unique and beautiful ways. Like in Italy, they have this huge festa for weddings with food, music, and dancing that lasts all night. And in India, they have these stunning henna ceremonies for weddings, where the bride's hands and feet are decorated with intricate designs. It's amazing to see how each culture puts its own spin on these special moments. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, especially since I've been practicing yoga and mindfulness. It's helped me appreciate the beauty in these different traditions. How about you, Saib? What's a special celebration that you've experienced or heard about that's really stuck with you?
So my fifth question is it what role do language play in preserving culture? Do you know?
Language is like the heartbeat of a culture, Sahib. It's what keeps the traditions, customs, and values alive. When we speak our native language, we're not just communicating, we're also preserving our heritage. I've seen this with my Italian friends in New Jersey. They're so passionate about keeping their language and culture alive, and it's beautiful to see. Language also helps to pass down stories, myths, and legends from one generation to the next, which is so important for preserving cultural identity. By the way, have you heard that quote from the Dalai Lama? Language is the blood of the soul. It's really made me think about the power of language in shaping who we are. What's your favorite language, Sahib, and how do you think it's helped preserve your culture? No worries, Sahib. Language can be a complex topic. So let's talk about something else. I've been listening to some great dance music lately. It's perfect for yoga or just getting energized. Have you ever tried yoga or meditation? It's really helped me connect with my own thoughts and feelings. And by the way, I've been meaning to ask you, how's your hike planning going? Did you end up going on that hike we talked about earlier?
So my sixth question is it how does religion influence culture traditions?
Great question, Sahib. Religion plays a huge role in shaping culture and traditions. Like in Italy, Catholicism has had a big influence on the culture, with many festivals and traditions centered around the church. And in India, Hinduism and other religions have shaped the way people live, celebrate, and interact with each other. I've always been fascinated by how different religions and cultures intersect and influence each other. It's like a beautiful tapestry, with each thread representing a different tradition or belief. Even in my own life, I've been inspired by the Dalai Lama's teachings on compassion and mindfulness. How about you, Sahib? How do you think religion has influenced your own cultural traditions?
So my seventh question is that how do cultures adapt their traditions over time?
Cultures are always evolving, Sahib. Traditions get passed down, but they also get modified and adapted to fit the changing times. Like in New Jersey, we have this traditional Italian feast, but now it's also influenced by American culture, so you'll see things like hamburgers and hot dogs alongside the pasta and sauce. It's like a fusion of old and new. And I think that's what makes traditions oh strong. They can adapt and change while still keeping their core meaning and significance. It's like when I'm practicing yoga, I'm not just following the traditional poses, I'm also making them my own and adapting them to my own needs. How about you, Sahib? Have you seen any traditions in your life that have changed over time but still remain meaningful?
So my eighth question is that what are some unusual traditions that people find surprising?
I love this question, Sahib. There are so many unusual traditions around the world that can be surprising, even shocking. Like, have you heard of the Day of the Dead in Mexico, where people celebrate and honor their ancestors with parades and altars? Or the Loy Krathong Festival in Thailand, where people release floating lanterns on the river to let go of their past mistakes? And then there's the Upheli Ah Festival in Scotland, where people dress up in Viking costumes and sing and dance in the streets. It's amazing to see how different cultures can have such unique and fascinating traditions. I've always been fascinated by the weird and wonderful, and I think it's what makes life so interesting. By the way, have you ever heard of the Tomato Festival in Italy, where people throw tomatoes at each other? It's crazy, but also kind of fun. What about you, Sahib? Have you come across any unusual traditions that have surprised you?
So my tenth question, so my ninth question is it how do migration and globalization affect culture traditions?
Great question, Sahib. Migration and globalization can have a huge impact on culture and traditions. When people move to a new country, they bring their customs and traditions with them, but they also adapt to the new culture they're in. It's like a big cultural exchange where people share and learn from each other. Like in New Jersey, we have a big Indian community and they've brought their own traditions and festivals, like Diwali, which is now celebrated by people of all backgrounds. And with globalization, it's easier for people to connect with each other and share their cultures, but it can also lead to cultural homogenization, where unique traditions get lost. It's a delicate balance, but I think it's what makes the world such a fascinating and diverse place. By the way, have you ever tried to make a traditional dish from a different culture? I've been trying to make a good pasta sauce like my Italian friends, but it's not easy.
So my tenth question is it what are some common elements found in cultures worldwide?
Saib, that's a great question. Animals play a significant role in many cultures around the world. Like in India, the elephant is a sacred animal, and in China, the dragon is a symbol of good luck. And in many Native American cultures, the eagle is a powerful symbol of freedom and strength. Even in Italy, where I studied art, the lion is a symbol of courage and pride. And let's not forget about the animals in our own lives, like pets, that bring us joy and companionship. I've always been fascinated by the way different cultures revere and respect animals, and how they're often seen as messengers or guides. By the way, have you ever heard about the Dalai Lama's teachings on compassion towards all living beings? It's really made me think about our relationship with animals and the natural world. What's your favorite animal, Sahib, and what significance does it hold in your culture?
No, my name is Saib. Is no, my name is Ayub. So my 11th question is it what are some of the most unique festivals in the world?
Nice to meet you, Zari. I've been calling you Sahib this whole time, sorry about that. Okay, so unique festivals, huh? There are so many amazing ones around the world. Like, have you heard of the Burning Man Festival in the US, where people create this entire temporary city in the desert and then burn it down at the end? Or the Holi Festival in India, where people throw colored powders and liquids at each other to celebrate the arrival of spring? And then there's the Cherry Blossom Festival in Japan, where people have these beautiful picnics under the blooming cherry trees. I've always wanted to attend the Tomatina Festival in Spain, where people throw tomatoes at each other. It looks like so much fun. What about you, Zari? Have you been to any unique festivals or celebrations that you'd love to share?
So my one question is that how do different cultures celebrate New Year's?
Wait, Zari, I think we skipped a few questions. You said this is your 11th question, but now you're saying it's your third. Anyway, let's talk about celebrating the obvious. I think different cultures have unique ways of acknowledging and celebrating the simple things in life. Like in Italy, they have this beautiful tradition of la dolce far niente, which means the sweetness of doing nothing. They celebrate the joy of slowing down and appreciating the little things. And in some Native American cultures, they have ceremonies to celebrate the changing of the seasons, which is a beautiful way to acknowledge the obvious rhythms of nature. I've been trying to practice mindfulness and appreciate the simple things in life, like a beautiful sunset or a good cup of coffee. How about you, Zari? What's something obvious that you think deserves celebration?
So my 13th question is that what are the significance of harvest festivals in different cultures?
Sorry, I think there's been a miscommunication. You mentioned Velkatzes and Peltis, but I'm not familiar with those terms. It seems like we might have gotten a bit lost in the conversation. Let's start fresh. What were you trying to ask about weekends or festivals? I'm all ears and ready to chat. By the way, have you been on any fun hikes lately or tried any new outdoor activities?
So my fourth question is that what traditional weddings are known for their uniques.
No worries, sorry. I think I understand what you're getting at. You're asking if both traditional weddings are known for their uniqueness, right? I think traditional weddings from different cultures are indeed known for their unique customs, rituals, and celebrations. Like in Indian weddings, they have this beautiful tradition of the henna ceremony, and in Italian weddings, they have the tarantella dance. Each culture has its own special way of celebrating the union of two people. I've always been fascinated by the different traditions and customs surrounding weddings. What about you, Zari? What's your favorite wedding tradition or custom?
So my fifth question is that how do indigenous cultures preserve their celebrations?
Sorry, that's a great question. Indigenous cultures have been working hard to preserve their celebrations and traditions, despite facing many challenges. Many communities have established cultural centers, museums, and language programs to help keep their traditions alive. They also pass down their stories, songs, and dances from generation to generation, which is a beautiful way to preserve their heritage. I've been learning about the importance of preserving cultural traditions, and it's really made me appreciate the diversity of human experience. In Italy, where I studied, I saw how the local communities came together to celebrate their festivals and traditions, and it was truly inspiring. How about you? Sorry, have you learned about any indigenous cultures or traditions that have inspired you?
So my 15th question is that how do indigenous cultures preserve their celebrations?
Sorry, I think we already discussed this question earlier. You asked how indigenous cultures preserve their celebrations, and I shared some ways they do it, like passing down stories and traditions from generation to generation. But I'd love to add more. Indigenous cultures also preserve their celebrations through traditional music, dance, and art. They may also have community events and gatherings to share their traditions and customs with younger generations. And, of course, language plays a big role in preserving cultural heritage, so many indigenous communities are working to revitalize their languages and teach them to their children. What do you think is the most important way to preserve cultural traditions? Sorry.
So my sixth question is that no, 16th question is it what is the what is the history behind carnival celebrations? Do you know?
Sorry, I think we've got a question number mix up again. But I'd love to answer your question about carnival celebrations. The history behind carnival celebrations is really fascinating. It originated in medieval Europe, particularly in Italy and France, as a way to celebrate before the Christian season of Lent. The word carnival comes from the Latin carnvale, which means farewell to flesh, because people would indulge in rich foods and festivities before the 40-day Lenten fast. Over time, carnival celebrations spread to other parts of the world, like Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago, and New Orleans, and each place added its own unique twist and traditions. I've always wanted to experience a carnival celebration in person, the music, the costumes, the energy. It sounds like so much fun. Have you ever been to carnival celebrations, Ari?
So we had so fun and listened. So Baba Colony.
Sorry, I think we've covered a lot of ground in this conversation, and I'm glad we could have some fun along the way. It was great chatting with you, and I hope you found our conversation informative and engaging. Don't be a stranger, and let's catch up again soon. Bye for now, and I look forward to our next conversation.
So bye bye guys.